Oh my gosh, this is it. We're actually in the car. We are on the way to Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I am so freaking pumped. Oh, this better be a good movie. Welcome to Durbania, I'm Durbin, and this is my spoiler-free review for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm still processing this movie. Walked out of the theater, we drove home, I'm sitting here in front of this camera, and I'm still thinking about it. I mean, there were parts of this movie that were a little off. There were. But those parts did get swallowed up in all the greatness that was so totally on. And the stuff that was so totally on was incredibly awesome. So I'm looking forward to diving into this and talking about it. Also, later this weekend, Cody Curtis is going to join me. We're going to do a spoiler talk for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I'm very much looking forward to talking to him for a number of reasons. Number one, the dude is a huge Star Wars fan. Number two, I cannot wait to talk spoilers and dig into very specific things about what I liked and other things that maybe I was questioning. I don't know. But here's one thing for sure. As I'm about to give you a totally spoiler-free review, I know this. I have to see this movie again. I really do. Like, I'm still processing the information of watching this movie, and I know when I see it again, there's going to be things I didn't catch the first time because the guy behind me who really wanted to get his beer kept kicking everybody's trays and popcorns and stuff as he was moving, and it was so loud and noisy and whatever. Point is I know there's things I didn't catch the first time that I know I'll catch the second time, and I just need to see it again, man. I mean, my goodness, the processing. So here's what I've processed thus far. It is good, and it is very much worth your time to go see on the big screen. Overall, it is a very good continuation of this saga and dives into some very, very interesting things. I'll just get a few of my negatives out of the way, and one of my negatives is there was something that kind of just felt off to me, and it's not that I think Rian Johnson, who's directed this, was bad. He wasn't, but J.J. Abrams brings an energy that I like, and I liked what J.J. Abrams brought with The Force Awakens. So I think, overall, if I was to hold The Last Jedi up to The Force Awakens, I think I like The Force Awakens a smidgen better, but that's mostly because of what J.J. Abrams brought in his vision with his direction of the film. But in terms of the story, the place that this story took things was a lot deeper. And I was pretty satisfied with the story and how it did that. I mean, one of the big things is the Force. So when you go back to The Empire Strikes Back, that's our big middle movie there where we learn a ton of stuff about the Force. Where, you know, Yoda and Luke are having their training, and in their training we get to learn how do you connect to the Force, and what does it mean to connect to the Force? I mean, a lot of really cool, deep things that you could just really read deeply into. And I think this movie does a great job doing that as well. And I think where it does a great job doing that is exploring it through Rey, exploring it through Luke, and exploring it through Kylo Ren, and a little bit through Snoke. But it's just interesting, though, with these three main characters of Rey, Luke, and Kylo, and the three places that they're at. It's really interesting where this movie kind of dissects the Force, and it does a little what Empire Strikes Back does, and it digs deep into the Force, but I feel like this takes us another layer down into the Force than even Empire Strikes Back took us. And I thought that was really interesting. And what was interesting about that, though, for me, is just the characters. Because this is through Luke's perspective to a certain degree of where he's at in his life. This is through Rey's perspective and where she's at with her life. This is also through Kylo's perspective and where he's at. So it was kind of interesting to dive into the Force through those perspectives. And so that was a lot of fun for me, and there is going to be a fantastic theological analysis on that down the road here sometime soon, because I really kind of dug that whole aspect of it. There was a lot of things I liked that they did with Rey, but it was just so interesting to me, the Rey and Kylo stuff that was going on. So that was something that was incredibly interesting to me in this movie. Poe Dameron, I mean, if you liked him in the first movie, you're going to like him in this movie. And I really do think they did a good job growing him up a little bit. He had a great character arc in this, so I really enjoyed those places where we got to watch him grow. Finn was another great one, and I think another place, though, where I fell off with this movie is there's an entire sequence with Finn that just, I don't know, it felt a little strange to me. It's not that it was bad or that I would come out and say that it's bad. And Finn, nothing wrong with him. He was a great character. Through it all, he was Finn, right? I mean, we just got to watch Finn grow. We got to watch Finn be Finn. So, like, no, that stuff is fine. But I'm just talking about the scenario surrounding him and a chunk of this film that, again, I'm not going to give away. It just felt a little weird to me, though. And it's like, interesting. But whatever. Point is, even in those places where it felt off, this movie just felt so overwhelmingly on in those places that it was on. And one of the things that fascinated me about this movie was Luke Skywalker. And again, without digging too deep into this and giving you spoilers, I will just say, here's what I understand. The philosophy they had in The Force Awakens is if they brought Luke as a bigger role into that one, then you're not going to care so much about the other characters and what's going on. Luke Skywalker's here. You care about this. I felt that same thing. When Luke Skywalker was on the screen in The Last Jedi, I didn't care about anything else. I cared about that dude. I cared about what that dude was doing. I cared about what that dude was going to do. And what was brilliant about that is they didn't give him that big role in The Force Awakens. So it built up those other characters so that here in The Last Jedi, we can have those moments with Luke of, oh my gosh, Luke's on screen. What's going to happen? I can't wait to see what's going to happen. So, like, I enjoyed a lot of stuff like that. So, I don't know. Some stuff felt a little off, but a lot of this movie felt really on, and the story was really good. And so, overall, I had a great experience. And here's a number one big positive for you. I want to see it again. Like, I need to sit down and see this again and process this better. So, I'm going to give this movie an A-. I feel like I want to give it a higher grade, but an A- just feels like the right grade for me to give it. So I'm going to stick with my A-. That's what I'm going to give it right now. But a very good film, a good continuation of the saga, and I think if you liked The Force Awakens, you'll enjoy this. I think if you didn't like The Force Awakens, I don't know, if you're a Star Wars fan and you love how they dig deep into the Force and things like that, they do that in this. And so I think even if you didn't like The Force Awakens, you're going to find stuff in this you're going to really enjoy. So, I mean, that's just where I'm at. Where are you at? Let me know in the comments if you happen to see it. What are your thoughts about this movie? While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian, and next to the subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified the moment I drop another movie review, trailer reaction, ranking video, and whatever else, theological analysis, whatever else I do here. I just hit that bell so you're notified the moment all of that drops. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.